today I'm making like a potato bite mix. I don't really have a name for it. I saw it on a healthy recipe website, so I decided to try it, and it's really easy, so I wanted to share this. We actually got lucky and found a huge bag of potatoes for like $2.99 at the grocery store, and this is actually my second bag of making this. We chopped up the potatoes, and I saved you the pain of watching me chop everything, and I got a gallon Ziploc bag. I didn't even measure any of this, so I'm just going to let you be you, and you spice it up how you want. I put about 3 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, about, I'm going to open the cabinet real quick, sorry about that. About 2 tablespoons of dried cilantro, and a little cayenne pepper just to kick it up. So I threw all that in this bag, and as I chopped the potatoes, I put them in the bag, and now I'm just rolling them in that goodness. And then, before I started everything, I preheat the oven at 350 degrees. These chunks are little bite-sized chunks. They kind of vary depending on what part of the potato, but I want to say I just sliced them up in little 1/2-inch slices and then turned them sideways and cut them in 4s. So, chunk potatoes. I'm going to turn the camera and show you what I'm doing next here. So we're going to look down at the stove, and here is my pan. So we fried some bacon this morning, and I had bacon grease left over right here. Yes, I saved my bacon grease. You never know. And then I drizzled it with a fork. I just dipped the fork in the bacon grease and did a little drizzle all over this pan. The reason that's good is because it keeps everything from sticking to the pan, but B, it makes a nice little brown crispiness around the edges of the potatoes when you start baking them. So I've tossed them around for quite a bit. They're nice and covered. Oh, my Lanta. I'm just going to get the whole bag on here. Look at that. Now that's a pile of potatoes, y'all. Oh my goodness. So we want to get them spread evenly. You don't necessarily have to lay them flat, and you don't have to worry about turning them over once you start baking them. You're just going to let them sit. That's a big chunk right there. I should have cut that smaller, but I'm sure the boys won't mind. But once you start baking this, you're just going to leave it, let it cook, and you want, the reason I wonder if I could, I'm going to end up tossing a potato off of the pan. Watch, Shannon, be careful. Okay, the reason I want the chunks a little smaller, not too terribly big, is because the heat from baking this is going to need to cook the potato all the way through. These are raw potatoes, so they're going to be hard and crunchy, and once they're done, I want them soft and chewable. So we need small pieces so the heat can just resonate through these. Okay, feeling pretty good about this. What do you guys think? I'm feeling pretty hungry. We had a huge breakfast this morning, so I have not been hungry all day. All right, so we've got our goodness coated all over this. And we've got bacon drizzled on the pan, 350 degrees, and we're going to use Tiki Timer today. Tiki Timer is the black chicken, Tiki Timer is the yellow chicken. We're going to set our timer for 35 minutes. You know what? I baked it for 40 minutes this morning, the first batch. And I'm just going to go 40 or 45 minutes. So let's start with that. Then we'll check on the potatoes, and we'll come right back when she starts screaming. Okay? See you in a bit. Okay. I had to take a quick break and show you at least the first batch that I made, because it smells so good. So these potatoes are the ones I made with the first half of the bag of potatoes, and you can see, like, that's the good little chunk right there. Ooh, too close. So, not going to waste it. It's nice and soft. The only difference between this batch that I made and the one you just watched me put in the oven, I didn't put Parmesan cheese on this one. I put just the salt, the cilantro, the cayenne pepper, and the onion powder. But I mean, if you have other spices you want to put on there, dump it in. And just be easy on the salt at first, especially if you're putting other salty spices in, because if it gets too salty, you can't unsalt it. So if anything, you can serve it up and take a taste, and if you want a little more salt, sprinkle it on top. Some of us are trying to avoid salt. It's just a little healthier for you. So other spices like the onion powder or garlic powder kind of help supplement that. But that's what it kind of looked like. Isn't it pretty? And I'll show you the next batch when that's done. Tiki timer's still going, so we'll come back when she hollers. Okay, through the magic of time, 40 some odd minutes have passed. Tiki hasn't quite gone off yet, so we're gonna wait until she rings. And then we're gonna... So it's almost time for Tiki timer to go off. And we've got our happy meds to help us with the pan. Okay. I get too excited, so sometimes I may peek at the oven sooner than I should. Turn on the heat or the light. Ooh, they get a nice brown on them. Come on, Tiki timer. Come on, Tiki timer. When is she gonna go? Well, I'm gonna get my tongs in the meantime. There it is. Okay. Every time I open the oven, I always have to stand back for a second. If you have an oven like mine, it's because you just kind of got to let the steam and the smoke out. Oh my gosh. Ooh, it looks pretty. I'm going to get a fork. Actually, I've got my tongs right here. I'm just going to do a gentle push into one of the bigger pieces. Oh, and it goes through just like butter. So that is done. Let me grab a piece and show you how pretty it is. Ooh, it's very soft. I'm not going to take a bite right now, but this is what I'm looking for. Brown edges and then crispy on the bottom side where the bacon grease is. So we got all our potatoes done. I'm going to wrap them up into a container, and that's going to be dinner. Wish I could have you guys all over to join me, but I would have to have a lot more potatoes. Alright guys, I hope you try it yourself and let me know what you guys put on your potatoes and what spices you like to see. But that was actually pretty easy, considering it only takes about 45 minutes to cook it. Everything else, like the prep and everything, 10 minutes maybe, tops. And nothing really to clean up except this pan. So, alright guys, put everything in yourself, make it your own. Tell me about it. Put it in the comment below, and if you make it yourself, make it your home.